People are automatically, especially with AI and any sort of emerging technology, they're going to be scared. Is it going to take my job? Is it going to, make things harder? I use ChatGPT on a daily basis. At first, I was kind of hesitant to even bring it up to the owner. He compared it to the Matrix. I kind of explained to him, this is a tool. We need to use it like a tool. If you don't change your business and you don't modernize with the times, things will start outpacing you. It's a lot easier to keep up than it is to catch up.
I talk a lot about Kodak or companies like Blockbuster that really refuse to change. They put their stake in the ground and said, we will not move.
Yeah.
And they didn't move and everyone else did and they're dead. We have to keep up as small businesses.
Right.
Welcome to the Grit Blueprint Podcast, the playbook for building unmistakable brands that grow, lead, and last in the built world. I'm Stephanie Couch, the founder of Grit Blueprint, and I'm a lifelong building industry insider. I was raised here, built my career here, and now my team and I help others win here. The truth is, you can be the best option in your space and still lose to someone else who simply shows up better and more consistently. Each week on the Grit Blueprint, I'm going to show you how to stand out, earn trust, and turn your brand into a competitive advantage that lasts. If you're ready to be seen, known, chosen, and become unmistakable, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Thank you for joining me on the Grit Blueprint Podcast. I am your host, Stephanie Couch, and I'm here today in Orlando with Bryan Scott. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, great to be here.
And we are here at the Independent Home Improvement Conference, and we're talking yesterday. You were in one of my sessions, and I said, we have to have a conversation. So I'm excited for you to be here. Let's get started.
Awesome, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Bryan. I work for Southern Tool Supply. I am the store manager there.
Yeah.
So I kind of run some of the day-to-day operations with pricing, strategy, stuff like that, inventory, store resets. This is pretty much anything that encompasses a store. We're one location. So anytime you're, a small hardware store, small retail, one person holds a lot of hats, and that's for everyone in the store, not just me.
It is definitely one of those things where you may come in Monday and do one job, and the next day you're doing something totally different.
Exactly. Yeah, you could be doing asset protection one day, and the next day, you're doing marketing. You're trying to do social media marketing and drive customers into the store. So
yeah. It is really interesting to have to be someone who understands so many different facets, because I think if you get in bigger companies, usually there's more silos. Like this is the marketing department, or this is sales, or this is operations.
Exactly.
I know you have a background that is not hardware.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about how you started in your retail career, and then how did you end up at Southern Tool Supply?
Yeah, so I initially started off working, my high school job was at Best Buy, so that's how I got into retail as a whole. Really fell in love with it, just the customer interaction, stuff like that, and the technology. I love technology. So that took me from there to going to school for web design development, which is completely away from retail and absolutely, anything hardware related. So once I completed all that, my dad is actually, at the time was the store manager for Southern Tool, and is now the owner of Southern Tool Supply. They were looking to revamp and update their website and just make it, because e-com is such a big part of, our industry. And, it's 2025 now. If you don't have e-com, you might as well put the going out business sign on your door.
Yeah.
So at the time, we were using a different partner. We currently now use Do It Best for the e-com side, which makes it a lot easier for us. That's really how I got back into working at Southern Tool Supply. And then from there, it's just been one step after the next to now I'm the store manager. So
that's amazing. You were talking a little bit yesterday when we were speaking about some of the tracking you do on your e-commerce, which, I don't know if most store owners do that or not. I feel like you probably have a lot more insight because of your background doing coding and all those things. Tell me a little bit about what someone in that position with an e-commerce store, what they should, in your opinion, be looking for. What kind of trends are you tracking? Because there's so many metrics.
Yeah, so through the Do It Best e-commerce system, they use the Adobe platform. So it's got a very intuitive user interface. Once you understand it, it's got a little bit of barrier entry if you're someone that doesn't really understand e-com or that side of it. But once you understand it, it's really easy to see. So what I'm looking for kind of on a weekly basis is I'm looking for what people are looking up, your recent searches, and I can see what they're searching for, how many people are searching for it. I can see how many times that it's popping up in a search, how many times they're clicking on a page where that's categorized, and I'm looking at how many times they're viewing it on a cart. You can also see how many users. So with the users, that's a big thing, especially with the way the economy is now and everything. People are kind of unsure on their purchasing, so they're doing more research. So you can see that based off of, say, Milwaukee Packout, which is always at the top of the list. You'll see we might have 52 page views, but you'll see out those 52 page views that you only have 30 users, which means that 20 of those users are coming back and re-looking at products on multiple views, multiple sessions. So, which is showing that they're needing to be more educated on their purchases, which is helping us in store knowing that, hey, first off, people are looking at Packout. Let's get Packout to the front of the store, which we have Packout. When you walk in, it's right there on the right-hand side. We have it placed throughout the store in other areas too, but we know that's a big area. And then, same thing with seasonal time. So when we actually had a winter this year. I was able to see that people were looking at heaters and salt and stuff like that. I could see how much people were looking at that. So usually whenever we start getting especially salt, that means the big boxes might be running out. So that allowed us to know, hey, we need to make sure people are looking at this. Let's get it going, especially with a seasonal trends and stuff like that.
That's amazing. You mentioned Milwaukee Packout, so let's just talk about it because I really like their stuff, and I think everyone does. How do you think about from a perspective of who your customer is? You guys have a lot of contractors coming in. How do you think about, you're looking at the e-commerce data, you're probably thinking about layout on the store, you're talking to people in person. How do you mix all those different data points coming in from true in-person experiences to e-com?
A lot of that comes down to, at least the way I look at it, is that's the habits of the people buying. So your contractors are very much, they want to get in and get out as fast as they can. They're on the clock. They don't get paid till they get the job done. So they're not there to dilly dally. Now, some of them do, especially when it's hot outside. We don't charge for AC. You have to kind of understand their habits, which you can see on the e-commerce side. You can kind of see what they're looking for. You can see, hey, they're looking at, you have people looking at, ratchets and wrenches and looking at sockets. So that you probably, the same people looking at the ratchets are the same ones looking at the sockets. So it's, similar. Put that stuff together is how you kind of want to put the store together. So we recently have gone through a reset.
First time in 25 years, right?
To the point where we were moving shelving around and there's bare spots there. There was a spot on the floor where a desk was, where when they re-epoxied the floor, they painted around the legs on the floor. So they had no intentions to ever move things around. So we're resetting things. I've, went through Do It Best's core program, and that really lit a fire underneath of us to be able to use some of the advantages that we've learned from them, as well as other facets of the industry, to be able to capitalize on our customers coming into the store as well as online. You want to, especially nowadays where we're fighting with not just other brick and mortars, but online retailers. We need to do what we can as a small business to be able to capture our audience and engage with them both in person and with the way our stuff's displayed on the shelves throughout the store, online, and be able to capture as much as we can from them.
And Do It Best is your partner, which leverages an independent hardware store as a big person because Do It Best is so big themselves. You talked a little bit about the programs that they talked about. What kind of support do you get from those for marketing and all of the merchandising? Talk to me about that.
Do It Best is great when it comes to that. I think they definitely stand out on that end of the business. They've got a good selection of products for us, to sell to the customers, but they've got a good selection of services for us as independent store owners and stuff like that as well. Such as, I talked about the core program, that's their College of Retail Excellence. So you go there and you that's just a quick rundown of here's all the services we offer. It's a 4-day class. Here's everything that we offer as Do It Best to help you, which at the end of the day is to help your customer. Because if they're not able to help us, then that means that we're not able to help our customers, which at the end of the day means that they're having issues too. So I think they do a really good job of servicing us as their customers so we can service our customers through their marketing channels, through their education channels and stuff like that.
And I think it's cool that people like you are coming into the industry. You're young, you're obviously very hungry, you're really smart. You're using tools that they offer, and also you're out there finding your own tools. So let's talk about AI a little bit. We both love AI. We had a little nerd session yesterday after our session with you and another owner talking about how you're using it in your day-to-day. So ChatGPT is your medium of choice, should they say, mine too. Talk to me about what you're using ChatGPT for, and how long have you been using it in your store or your daily life? What's it like for you as a store manager?
Yeah, so I use ChatGPT on a daily basis. I've got it, shortcuts on all my computers, all my phones, and everything like that. So I can use that all the time. I started off using it kind of just as an advanced Google, because I felt like I could get more direct answers quicker through ChatGPT than through Google. I have kind of trained my ChatGPT to automatically give me sources. Yeah. So I don't want to just give me, I don't want to ask, what size drill bit do I need to use for this tap? I want it to be able to give that to me, but then also give me the sources so I can double check it. That way I know it's giving me, because it's still an emerging technology. It's still going to make mistakes.
It hallucinates a little too.
Exactly, but it allows me to be able to be confident in what I'm seeing and be confident in passing that information along to customers, to the store owner, to the employees in the store and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I started off using it as an advanced Google search pretty much. And then I started messing around with the capabilities of it to almost use it as like a thinking partner, running, bouncing ideas off, hey, we need to increase sales in this specific category, right? How can we do that?
Yeah.
It would help. And as you talk to it more, which sounds kind of weird that you're talking to something that's not real. Yeah. As you talk to it more, it kind of understands you more and understands your store more. So now I can ask ChatGPT, hey, who do I work for? And it'll be, oh, you work for Southern Tool Supply. Yeah. Here's what you do. Here's your areas of strong points. Here's areas that you're trying to work on with the company. At first, I was kind of hesitant to even bring it up to the owner, because he was very much a, when he first found out about it and decided we should probably start using it, he compared it to the Matrix. Yeah. And so it's kind of scary in that sense. And it's like, it is, but that brought to I kind of explained to him, this is a tool. We need to use it like a tool, We sell tools. So seeing a tool out there that isn't a tool that we normally sell is, I kind of start bouncing around, how can I use this? How can I make my day easier and make everyone else's day easier? So I use it now for everything from, trying to do the copyright for social media posts, come up with ideas for, laying out the store, what we should do here and there, as well as analyzing data. So I can take, I can export a customer's purchase history into ChatGPT, and I can be like, looking at this trends for the last 12 months, what items are they most likely to be purchasing in the next 30 days, so that I can know, hey, we need to order these in, we need to have our outside sales rep go talk to this guy, or go talk to this contact at this company. That way, hey, we know that you're about to order, in past years you've ordered 30 water coolers. Is that something you're looking to do? And that might jolt the customer's memory. Hey, we do need those. And that'll allow the purchasing guy to be able to order those in for us, so that we have them there for the customer. Yeah,
it's unlimited, really, because it continually gets better as well. I want to go back to the Matrix comment.
Yeah.
There is a world that happens still.
Exactly.
But I don't think we can negate the fact that it's here.
Right.
Your competitors are going to use it. And just like with the internet, just like with any tool, it could be used in a negative way, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't embrace it and then just guard against, hopefully, those negativities.
Exactly.
What would you say? I know there's lots of generations and there's lots of opinions in our industry, and everyone has some of the different things they've taken from their personal experiences growing up in different places and different things. What would you say to people that are super hesitant? I know even some of the young people, so it's not all older generations that are against this technology or against the change. What do you think we should tell people that are hesitant?
What I tell people that are hesitant currently, and kind of my explanation to them is, this is like the car. At first, cars were scary. This is like the car. It's going to revolutionize. It's going to improve. But don't be scared of it. Let's see what it can do first. Sure. Before you start judging. I mean, people are automatically, especially with AI and any sort of emerging technology, they're going to be scared. Is it going to take my job? Is it going to, make things harder? Is it going to, is it going to make my competitors, like, the big box stores, is it going to put them light years ahead of where we are down here? And the answer is yes. If you don't utilize it and you don't change your business, and this is across all industries, and this is how it's always been. If you don't change your business and you don't modernize with the times, then you will notice that things will start outpacing you, and that's where you're going. It's a lot easier to keep up than it is to catch up.
That's such a great point. And I talk a lot about Kodak or companies like Blockbuster that really refuse to change. They put their stake in the ground and said, we will not move.
Yeah.
And they didn't move, and everyone else did, and they're dead.
Exactly.
And we can't think that that is not going to happen to our industry just because it's old school and it's a little boring, sometimes people call it, or not technology advanced. There are a lot of really strong competitors in this space, and the big box is the strongest.
Oh, for sure.
And they have a lot of time, a lot of money, and they will not just go by the wayside. So we have to keep up as small businesses. It is scary to some people, but we need to reiterate that. If you were going to start with, if you weren't a tech guy and you weren't someone who already loved this, what one thing maybe would you try to solve in someone's business with AI? Like, where would you start?
Me, as you know, especially with the web design background and everything like that, you know, I'm very much a problem solving. So I would initially find a problem that you have on your day-to-day that can be automated or, you know, assisted in any way, whether that's writing emails or, you know, I need to look at this price, you know, this Excel file and tell me, you know, what my margins are, rather than you having to go through and do the formula and everything like that. Just do something like that. But the easiest one is starting off with emails.
Yeah.
I've got this email here. This is what I want to say. Make it sound like me, you know, and you can, you know, as you continue to use it, it'll start sounding more like you and whatnot. But just start with a simple day-to-day task and go from there. Even if it's something like, if you're trying to find like a restaurant or something like that nearby, be like, I'm in the mood for pizza. What are some, you know, we're here in Orlando. So me and my partner, we actually used it last night to find where we went to eat.
That's
you know,
amazing.
Used it. Hey, we're looking for Italian here in Orlando. We don't want anything that we can get at home in Louisville.
Yeah.
So what are some good places? Also, we really want calamari. So what are some places that have good calamari? And it recommended the best place to us. So
was it good when you got there?
Oh my, it was to die for. You know, unfortunately we don't have a you know, microwave in the rooms here, so or else we would have taken it. But it was delicious. But we would have never thought about that.
Yeah.
So, but using this as, you know, something to help our day-to-day lives has made it easier. So, you know, in a store, use it with emails. Use it with, you know, you got the customer send you, you know, we all have those people that send us 10 paragraphs. Tell it, I need this summarized in 10 bullet points, and it'll do that for you. And then you can write up, well, here's what I want to say, or, you know, talk to it, you know, like it's a person. I want to reply back, you know, yes, we can get these water coolers to you by this date. We can have them delivered out to you. You can have them come pick them up. Here's going to be your price. You know, do you want to go through with that? And then it'll type that out to them in an email, and then you can send that through. And it'll make your life so much easier. So you don't see the blinking cursor.
If they took it away from me.
Exactly.
I say that a lot. Like, I really love my husband and my dog. Other than that, I'd probably give up just about anything because I use it so much. It is, and you said this earlier, but I want to go back to it. It felt a little weird at first, I guess, ChatGPT becoming your new best friend. That's what I look at it. Mine has a name, and it knows everything about me. But the truth is that it's easy to look at a person, an assistant at work, a coworker at work, as that. I mean, we all, if you think about when you first meet someone, they don't know anything about you, and then you train them of who you are and what you're about and all those things. It's the same thing with AI. And they're just really, really smarter than any human I've ever worked with, including myself, by a landslide. And it can just help you be an expert in a lot of areas that you would never know anything about. So if you can get over the fact that it's not a real person and you can leverage it just like any other tool, it can unlock a new level in your business.
It definitely can. It can help you see things that you didn't see before. It can help you realize things, you know, even with like, you know, whenever it's analyzing data and stuff like that. You know, I'm looking for these data sets, right? You can put in what you're looking for. I'm looking for these. You know what you're looking for. You've already seen the trends in your Excel file. Like I said, this is a tool. It's not meant to do the job for you. It's meant to help you with the job. So if you're looking at, you know, your month to month, if you're looking at, you know, here's what we did this month, here's how we were last year this month, you can be like, all right, so I've already seen that we are up, you know, 5% or what it may be, and we sold, you know, about the same amount of, you know, we're in the summer months, so we've sold about the same amount of Gatorade and water coolers. But then you can put that in there, and it can tell you also sold this month now, you sold more lifting slings than you sold last month, or you sold more chain than you sold, than you sold this time last year.
You weren't thinking to look for
Exactly.
that.
I wasn't looking at that because, it's so far down. I'm looking at, us as, humans. We're going to look at the top points. We're not going to look at the bottom. It's like, how often do you go to the second or third page of a Google search?
Never.
So
Ever.
this right here will be able to see that. Yeah, last year you may have only sold, this much Milwaukee, but this year you've sold this much Milwaukee, and then these were your top movers, and then you can start looking at that. Well, why is that? Then you can look. Well, these customers were buying it. These customers weren't buying as much last year, so now you can start diving into why are these people buying more? Are they doing a job here? Are they just coming in more? And then you can really, it's like a tree. You can break it down to find out the root cause of why you're selling more chain.
Well, I am so excited to continue this conversation. I think we could talk for 8 hours, but I also want to see what you're doing this in 6 months, because as ChatGPT specifically comes out with things like agents. Last week, they really released that. 2 or 3 months in, you're going to have that down pat. So I can't wait to talk to you about that. And I'm hoping that, as the more industry leaders like you talk about this openly, how it's working for you, that other people will not be so fearful and will hop in and try it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to keep blazing the trail and hopefully keep getting more people to optimize their business with things like AI and partners like Do It Best.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. It's been so exciting, and I am really pumped to see you again soon in a new show.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Grit Blueprint podcast. If this episode helped you think a little differently about how to show up, share it with someone in your building world who needs it. If you're ready to turn visibility into growth, then head to gritblueprint.com to learn more and book a call to talk to us about your growth strategy. Until next time, stay unmistakable.